Tonight, they're being identified and in many cases being charged. The Justice Department has begun filing charges now against those who stormed the Capitol on Wednesday this week. We know among those groups were some Texans who, in fact, documented the whole thing on social media in some cases. Ken Molestina heard from one of them today. He is joining us now with her message and the potential legal troubles that participants could now face. Ken?
Doug, I should begin by telling you the Justice Department identified the first 13 people who are now facing charges. There are 4 of them on that list that were not identified by state, so we're still trying to figure out who those are, if in fact they might be Texans or not. However, there are a few other Texans, including 2 from our area, who clearly participated and are now waiting to see if they too will be charged. Jenna Ryan of Frisco, a real estate broker and talk show host, posted among other pictures this one outside the Capitol. The caption reads, "Window at the Capitol, and if the news doesn't stop lying about us, we're going to come after their studios next." I reached out to Ryan about the backlash she's receiving now, and she responded in a statement saying, "It was a peaceful protest. We exercised our right to free speech and peaceful protest. There was no violence. I did not break any window. I just posed by the window because I was taking photos all over D.C. all day. I did not go into the Capitol." Then there was attorney Paul Davis from Westlake, who's now been fired from his job with Goosehead Insurance for his role.
We did break down the Nancy Pelosi's office door.
That's Midland resident and once mayoral candidate Jenny Cudd.
Certainly breaking into the Capitol, that's a chargeable offense perhaps in a number of ways. You know, that could be a simple trespass versus a federal crime for doing some of the things that they did.
SMU law professor Eric Cedillo says as they are identified, all of the participants who stormed the Capitol could face very serious charges, not just because of what they did, but also because a federal police officer died as a result of the chaos.
I think when the police officer passed away, that changed everything. You know, it was a game changer in terms of the prosecutions and just the level of scrutiny that they're going to take.
He did say each individual's role will be looked at, and their defense will be determined by how much proof is provided of their actions.
And it'll depend on the evidence that is brought to bear. Simply having, your picture taken out in front of the Capitol may not be sufficient to maintain that you broke into the Capitol. But if you crossed a barrier or your picture's on the other side of a barrier that you shouldn't have crossed, then that might be problematic for them.
Well, Jenna Ryan from Frisco released a second statement late this afternoon. That one read in part, quote, "I do not condone the violence that occurred on January 6, 2020, and I am truly heartbroken for the people that have lost their lives." You know, Doug, you spoke to different legal experts here throughout the day, and all of them say that the charges that these mob participants will face will not be taken lightly.